Hi everyone, welcome back to the Divine Healing with Love channel. I am Nicole. I'm so grateful to have you here with me today. Welcome back to the capital LOVE tribe. Thank you all so much. I'm so grateful for all of your love, support, likes, subscribing, comments, you being present, doing the work, showing up for yourself. I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you all so much. So much gratitude. Thank you. I wanted to make a video today talking about the fight for the souls of our children. And I say our children because even if you don't have children or, you do have children, it doesn't matter. These are our children and the fight for their soul is really on the line. There is a strong agenda right now to take the innocence and the purity away from the children and to program them to be, to fall into this over-sexualization agenda that's happening. I don't know if any of you are recognizing this. I've been paying attention. I just haven't spoke about this, but it's time for me. I've had enough. I have 2 daughters, but I have a deep connection with the children of the world as part of my mission, and I have to talk about these things. I've had enough. I'm so sick and tired of children, the over exploitation of children, sexualizing children, programming children to be more sexualized, to show their bodies more, and social media and the agenda with that, and how they're pulling children in at a younger age, it seems like every single year. As I continue to evolve on my journey, I just started to pay attention to the fact of, everything is over-sexualized these days. It's children, it's animals, people. At one point it was kind of like, just adults. Now you see children being over-sexualized. You go into the stores to shop. Children are not, the clothes that they're making for children are not even children-like clothes anymore. It's more so adult-looking clothes that are geared now for children. And as I started to pay attention to this, I started to realize what's happening. They want children to be, they want their innocence to be gone. And they want children to come into these adult-like roles at a younger age, and it's getting younger and younger and younger. But there's an over-sexualization agenda with everything. Children, like I said, animals, is starting to be more exposure with people abusing animals and using animals for sexual acts. These things were going on for years, but now more people are starting to recognize this and talk about it. People are even over-sexualizing trees. I've seen things where you see people humping a tree. These things are just not okay. We should not have to live in a world where everything is about sex. This is not the way we should be living. We shouldn't have to live in a world where, because you always hear sex sells, sex it up, be sexy, show skin. And it's like, as we say these words, our children are watching. They're picking up everything. They're paying attention to everything. They're paying attention to these dances. They're paying attention to the twerking. They're paying attention to all of these things that are out there on social media and on TV. I'm not saying that children need to be living under a rock and they can't be exposed to the things of the real world. But some of these things we as a collective could put a stop to and stand up against it. And we can start by, for one thing, it starts with us. That's where it begins. What are some of the things, what are some of the images that we're putting out there? What are some of the things, are we being mindful of our discussions? Are we being mindful of our conversations? Are we being mindful of the things that the children are watching on TV, that they're watching on their iPad, that they're consuming? because it's always going to be the world. We can't, shelter the children from the world. We can't. But we can help to minimize the type of exposure and the things that they're being exposed to, because everything is being over sexualized these days. And I'm going to sit here and tell you right now, this is why sex trafficking and human trafficking is getting more and more out of control. Every single year, the numbers and the statistics are going up for children being pulled into sex trafficking, because children are being programmed and pushed and groomed to be sexual beings at such a young age. It's getting worse and worse and worse. Many of you know, if you've been watching my videos, I am a former educator. Before, when I was working back, I live in LA now, so I taught a little bit out here before I went full-time entrepreneur. But the bulk of my career was on the East Coast. I'm from the DC area. I'm from Maryland. Shout out to PG County. That's where I'm from, Prince George's County. But that's where I worked. That was the school district that I worked for 15 years, okay? And before I left, I was in middle school. I cannot tell you how many times nudes were leaked, sex tapes were leaked, were airdropped, leaked on social media. This was literally a regular occurrence where it wasn't even a thing. It wasn't like, oh my God. It was like, okay, someone's nudes were leaked. It's a Tuesday. You know how disturbing that is? A 12-year-old, a 13-year-old. It's sickening me even saying this out of my mouth, but I have to say it because some people, I think, are not aware of the type of things that are happening. Because I remember when I used to share stories from working in the schools for all those years, people would say to me, oh, I don't believe that. No, absolutely believe it, because it's real and it's happening. Can you imagine 12 years old and your nudes are being leaked on social media and it's just out there now? And some people will say, well, they shouldn't have been doing that on social media. What were they doing that? Well, when, we don't know the circumstances. We don't know what was going on. We don't know what the parental figures are there, what they're doing, what they're not showing them. We don't know. And unfortunately, because of social media and TV and the things that are happening, these little girls think it's cute to be in the mirror with duck lips, poking their butt out, angles, all of this stuff. And it's starting younger and younger and younger. And it's so upsetting because you think about this at 12, your nudes are leaked to the entire school, because when this stuff used to get airdropped, it would go to everyone. Shit was unreal. I mean, and it's happening all over the country. It's not just happening. This is not isolated. So like, I watched the show Euphoria, and even they say on Euphoria, nudes are currency. Like, that's just the thing. And it's like, this is the world we're in now. That this is what's happened. This is what's cool. This is what people feel is something that gives you power. And this is what the dark, these dark forces, whatever you want to call it, I'm not going to stay here. I don't want this video to get flagged. But whatever you want to call the dark elite, okay? You know what I'm talking about. Whatever you want to call it, this is what they want. They want us to stay on these dark timelines. They want us to be in this place where our children are sacrificed. Their innocence is gone. Their purity is gone. They're living for the gram. They're living for the world. They're getting caught. They're now this sexual being. 12-year-olds' nudes are out there in the internet world. That's child pornography right there. Anyone can see that. Anyone can get a hold of that. And then you've got these adults pleasuring themselves. Like, this stuff is sickening, but we got to talk about it, because we have to figure out how to change this. Like, this is not cool. It's not cool. Like, when I go on Instagram and I see like 3-year-olds dressed like somebody 24. Like, they've got the sunglasses on and they've got like the all black outfit and the purse. And it's like, I'm not trying to tell anybody how to raise their kids. That's not what I'm doing. And please don't take that as that's what I'm trying to do, because I'm not. But think about what you're already starting. Like, think about that. And I'm not saying sunglasses on a 3-year-old. No, my kids have sunglasses too. But what happened to the Tutti Frutti sunglasses? You know, like some fun little fruit sunglasses or something. Why does it have to be like Chanel shades? Or, you know, like, we have to start looking at this stuff and thinking about the bigger picture. Like, you have some sickos out here. And I'm not saying live in fear, but remember, when you have that energy out there, you know, you've got some sickos out here. Yes, these children are very protected, but start thinking about these things. Letting children be children and have their innocence and their joy and their childlike nature, that's the biggest gift that you can give them. You know, it really is. Like, even with my kids, like, you know, they like to play Roblox and they get on YouTube Kids. And, you know, now I'm even seeing like they have TikTok compilations on YouTube Kids. You know, my kid, I like listen, you know, I'm like, what are you watching? Because I'm hearing it, you know, and I'm like, what are you watching? And they're like, oh, it's TikTok. And like, Mommy, we want to be on TikTok. Can we get on TikTok? No, you can't get on TikTok. I'm not okay with that. You know, no, you're not going to be on any of this stuff. This is where I draw the hard line. They're like, oh, our friends are on it. No, well, you will not be on it. You know, because it's like, the thing is this. And again, I'm not trying this. Please don't take this as preachy or me trying to tell you what to do. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just trying to give you a different perspective and for us to really think about these things and think about how we can preserve the innocence of our children. Because it's our kids. It's our children. It really is. And it doesn't matter how you feel about children, because you have a lot of adults. Trust me, I know. I used to work in education. You have a lot of adults who can't stand children. You know, they'll tell you, oh, I can't stand kids, or I hate kids. You know, and a lot of times people don't like kids because children are pure. They're joyful. They have that innocence that adults wish that they had. You know, children say what they feel. They don't, you know, they don't have a filter. They're not there. They don't have that programming. They don't have that assimilation. That hasn't happened for them most of the time. Okay. And this is what we need. Children will help bring us to the next frontier, to the next level. Oh gosh, sorry. I gotta get my kids. Children will bring us to the next frontier, to the next level, to the next way of being. They will help us unlock and transform and shift our society to the next level. This is what they come here to do. They come here to teach us. They come here to show us. They come here to guide us. But a lot of, you know, not a lot, but you have some adults who feel like they know it all. But anyway, I don't want to get too off. We have to figure this out. What can we do to preserve their innocence so we don't have 12-year-old sex tapes out there? Why are they even having sex? You know, I know things happen. I know. Circumstances happen. Children get caught up in, because at the end of the day, they're still children. You can call them preteen, whatever you want to call them. 12 years old, you're still a child, okay? That's what I believe. That's what you know, people can disagree with that. I'm telling you what I feel. 12 years old, 13 years old, you're still a child. Why are you having sex? You know, I don't want you having sex at that age. You're not ready for that. And I used to talk to the kids about this, you know, that they were very open with me. They would tell me about their life, you know, and I would really try to talk to them. And I would be like, well, why are you doing this? You know, because I'll be talking about this more on this channel, because like I said, I'm going to be doing some different videos. But the type of things, listen. These kids, they are doing adult things at a young age. They watch porn. They know the positions. They know all of this stuff. You know, they are into it, into all the positions because of the access to all the things that they have. And again, I'm not sitting here saying, you know, it has to be, I don't know. You know, we're going to talk about this in the comments. I'm still getting this guidance because I'm going to be writing op-ed pieces I'm manifesting. This hasn't happened yet, but I'm going to be writing op-ed pieces for the Washington Post and the New York Times, and I'm going to be digging deeper into these societal issues because we have to talk about this as a society to make a change. I'm sorry, I have a problem. When I was to work in the middle school, sometimes we have situations where, the text would go out. The girls are giving head for $1 in the bathroom. Pop up. I have a problem with that. I have a problem. And as a leader, I'm going to step up and say something like, we have to do something. Like, that's not okay. Like, it's not cool. That stuff used to really, like, when those situations would happen, it would break my heart. And I would try to do as much as I could, within the boundaries and the confines of being a professional within the school system. And trust me, I have stories for days that people probably wouldn't even believe because I worked at elementary and middle. This stuff is starting younger and younger and younger. You wouldn't even believe. And it's horrible, but it's happening all around the world. But we could do something. As the adults, as leaders, we can do something about this, okay? We could start making the change. So let's talk about this in the comments, okay? If no one told you that they love you today, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a leader. Thank you for your light. Thank you for sharing this love, for being here, for being present, doing this work. I'm proud of you. Keep going, okay? Please like the video. Please share the video. Subscribe. Join the Capital LOVE tribe. Comment below. Let me know if this resonated. If you don't want to say how this resonated, drop me a red heart. I would really appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next reading or the next video. Bye.